Alright you guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a quick weekly wrestling yap. It's going to be a video where we literally just talk about the storylines going on, our thoughts on the superstars that are hot right now, the ones that are cold, and just really talking about what all is going on right now. It changes from week to week, so I thought this would be a good series to start so that we could just chit chat about everything. So the first thing I want to talk about, of course, is coming up is the Elimination Chamber. We have our matches set, and honestly, these are very stacked matches. I mean, the men's match is full of stars, and then the women's match is full of stars, and so we are really, really in for a treat during this Elimination Chamber season. On top of that, we have Sami and KO facing off, which honestly surprised me because I thought that was going to be a WrestleMania match, and maybe it still will because they could always pivot. You know, it could end in a DQ, whatever. They can always pivot. I'm hoping maybe Mr. Orton returns and he plays a little role in it. Maybe a possible triple threat at WrestleMania. We'll see. Because Randy's been off too long, and I know his PTO bank has ran out by now, so he needs to be coming back soon. But this Elimination Chamber is just honestly one that I feel like I know the answer, but then I also feel like it could go any way. I'm not going to give you my predictions yet. We're going to do a whole separate video on Elimination Chamber predictions, you know, so that we can really talk and dissect it. But I just have to say, like, I am honestly very excited for both of these matches, the men's and the women's, because I think it's going to be one to remember for sure. Just with the star quality that's in it, the star power, it's just going to really show the talent that's on the roster for both sides. I will say I love that Roxanne is in it. I was super excited, honestly, when Roxanne lost her belt at New Year's Evil, because I just felt like that meant she was coming to the main roster, and she has, and she's performed ever since, and I cannot wait for big things to come for her, because she is just fantastic, and she reminds me a lot of AJ Lee. I know that's her, like, idol mentor. She reminds me of her, and that's why I think I like her so much. Then we have, of course, we know that Jay challenged Gunther for WrestleMania, and honestly, like, at this point in time, does anybody not think that Jay's gonna win? Because I just feel like with the storyline saying over and over, like, he's underestimated, he's underrated, he's just a tag team guy, like, they're playing into that, like, doubt Jay storyline. And I think they're doing that just for him to really have his moment, have his WrestleMania moment. And plus we already saw him lose to Gunther. So if we were going to have him lose to Gunther again, what would be the point? So I definitely think Main Event Jey Uso is getting that World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, finishing his story, having his WrestleMania moment, and he should. It's been a gigantic year for him. You see the stadiums rocking whenever he comes out. So I think that one is going to be a very good match. I think it's going to be very good, honestly, for both characters. It's going to strengthen Jay as a solo, but it's also going to strengthen Gunther, because then he can take a step back, have a little bit of a character change, and create something new, which I think he needs. We also saw Charlotte is challenging Tiffy. I don't think this was any surprise to anybody. We knew we were going to get the battle of the two queens. And that's what it's coming down to. I'm a little sad about this because I feel like Charlotte's definitely getting that belt at Mania. And that makes me sad because I feel like Tiffy's reign is then a little short. And I love Tiffy. I think she's got a lot to offer. So I don't love that her first, like, real, true, like, big storyline, she's going to lose. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe she's not going to, maybe she will be victorious, but I just feel like ever since Charlotte's, teasing return and then her return, she's been pushed, she's been, in our face, and she's going to continue to be that way, so I definitely think she's getting that WrestleMania spot, and she's going to get that WrestleMania title. With that being said, I love everything that Tiffy does, and I am excited for this match because I think they're both going to do very, very well. I think that they both respect each other a lot, and so I think that we have a pretty good WrestleMania season in store for us, and we're not even halfway through what's all going to happen. And then I have one question, like, where is Roman? Like, where has he been? I thought he was going to come back and declare for the Elimination Chamber so that he could get revenge on Seth and CM, but he's absent. He is on PTO with Randy. They might be on the islands, Turks and Caicos. I don't know. But wherever he is, I'm going to need him to come back so that he can have a storyline and have a WrestleMania match as well, because I don't want to see a WrestleMania without Roman Reigns. Like, he is one of the biggest stars on the roster right now. I have a theory about what he's going to do. I feel like he's going to come back in Elimination Chamber. I feel like he's going to cause a little issues between Punk and Seth and cost them some matches, and we're going to get a triple threat. But regardless of that, Roman, wherever you are, please let us know when you're returning, because you haven't been on our screen recently. So let us know. Then, sticking with the bloodline, we have seen a little bit of tension between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Does Jacob still love Solo? Because I don't think he does. We saw Solo walked out without even saying anything after he lost to Roman at Raw on Netflix debut. And then he comes back and attacks Cody. Then he comes back and, tries to play this whole, like, I'm Solo, I'm still the head honcho, whatever you want to call him. Then he interferes with the match and, hits Tama, and it's just a disaster right now. It is just a disaster. And I think now realizes that he can be a star and that he doesn't need Solo. And so I think those two are going to butt heads very, very soon. I don't think that Jacob is going to be Solo's right man, his enforcer, much longer. I think he's going to knock Solo down a couple notches, especially since Solo has just been kind of running the show without giving the respect to where it's deserved. So I'm excited for this. I think, again, it's a very good storyline for both of their characters. A lot of people were like, where does Solo go after he lost the Tribal Chief? And I think this is exactly where he goes. I think him and Jacob need to have a feud. They need to really come together because they both can be very good singles competitors, especially Jacob. I'm so impressed with what Jacob has done, especially in Solo's absence. Before Solo was gone, we didn't see a lot of Jacob on the mic. We saw a lot of him in the ring, but not a lot on the mic. And now we're getting the mic and the ring, and he is just killing it both ways, and I am a fan of Jacob, and I will be seated when he's on TV because I think what he's doing is phenomenal. And then the biggest storyline that's going on right now is Jade's attacker. What is going on? We saw Nick Aldis has his little video footage showing Liv and Raquel in it, but I don't buy that. That is a cover-up. That is just a swerve so that we don't know what is actually going on. Because I do not buy that this whole time we've been waiting with barely any hints, barely anything, it's going to be Liv and Raquel. Like, why? So that you can build them as a tag team? You've already done that. Like, they're already a tag team. They're already a dominant tag team because they've beat, multiple people now. So there's no way that they are the end solution. This is totally a cover-up. And also, if it wasn't a cover-up, then why is Jade dropping all these little hints when Bianca and Naomi are on TV? Like the little thanking face she did when they said that they didn't know who the attacker was. So I just feel like the attacker still has to be Bianca and Naomi. And I feel like if it's not, then they drop the ball with this one. Because I just feel like this storyline is way too big to just have Liv and Raquel be her attacker because they wanted the tag titles. That doesn't fly with me. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't make sense. So I feel like Naomi are still her attacker. I feel like she's going to show her butt up at Elimination Chamber and let us know who the real attacker is. If we were Bianca, Naomi, and are all in the Elimination Chamber. So what she could do is she could show up to seek revenge on and let us know who the real attacker actually is. I have my bets on Bianca. I still think that she is going to be the actual attacker. I think Naomi is too obvious. And maybe that's why they threw this little Liv curveball. But either way, I hope Jade is on my screen soon because we miss her and we miss her star power and charisma, and I want to see her at WrestleMania. So she needs to be on my screen soon so that I can see her at WrestleMania. But really, I mean, we're just on the road to WrestleMania here. We are getting set for the Elimination Chamber, which is literally next week. I cannot believe that, you guys, because I feel like we just got over with Royal Rumble, and now it's Elimination Chamber, and the next time I blink, we're going to be at WrestleMania. This season of wrestling is really the most exciting. Things change in a blink of an eye. Because we're all anticipating that mountaintop of WrestleMania. So we're going to continue to do these weekly Wrestling Yap videos. We're going to just honestly talk about everything that's going on in the ring, outside the ring, character changes, title changes, whatever it is, we're going to talk about it. But until then, subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment, follow me on all socials, let me know what's going on, you guys.